All right, so let's just wait for some people to come into the chat right now. So because what we're going to talk about is how to lose body fat fast, okay? And the reason I want to go ahead and do this is because some people feel that you need to lose body fat on a slow pace, but there's some problems when you lose fat slowly. And when it comes to losing fat slowly, how slow do you want to do it? Because the thing about weight loss is this: if you do it too slow, you'll lose motivation because you're not going to see the results fast. And then if you keep banging the wall trying to do the same thing over and over and over again, like you're just going to lose motivation. And then you just fall into this plateau where you feel like nothing works. And then you're just going to be bouncing around from diet to diet to diet, trying to find the best way to be able to lose body fat fast. Right. So that's why what I do is when I train a lot of my clients, a lot of my students to be able to lose body fat, we focus on speed. All right. We want to focus on speed, get the results there, because trust me, when it comes to losing body fat, it's boring. It sucks. It kind of separates you from doing a lot of the things that you normally like to do because you already have like habits that it's already hard to give up. But one of the things we want to do is if we can go ahead and knock out that body fat, get you lose the weight, you look good, you have more self-confidence because the faster results that you start achieving, then you're going to get more motivated on your own from the results that you're getting. Does that make sense? Because it's one thing where, let's say, the first month you're trying to lose body fat, but you want to try to kind of take your time, take it slow. So what you do, you start eliminating like sugary drinks. Like, okay, I want to stop with the soda and start drinking water. And now you saw like a good 5 or 10 pounds loss. Then you start eating more vegetables. You see another 5 or 10 pounds lost the next month. But then after that, you're kind of eating healthier, you're drinking the water. And then at month 3, you're not seeing results. So you're like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and work out more. You lose maybe 2-3 more pounds, a little bit motivated, but then after that, month 4, you don't see results. So then you're like, all right, I want to go ahead and start lifting more weights. Then you lose another 2 or 3 pounds. Month 5, no results. See what I'm saying? And what I do is to get good results, 80% of it comes into the food. Okay, food plays 80%. So one of the things you want to do to be able to see fast results and make sure that you're getting not random results, but guaranteed results each time is being in a calorie deficit. And obviously you need to do this on a consistent basis. Okay. So with my clients, they're able to lose about 15 to 20 pounds per month because how we design the diets and everything, we want to make sure that when you're in the deficit, you're not starving, you're not lacking energy, and you see the results every single time. We give you a blueprint. And what I'm going to do today is show you how to do that. Okay. And this is going to really help you be able to get the results that you want. All right. Now, with that said, before I move forward, I'm going to go ahead and put down in the chat comment. I think it's ripped vegan, and you'll get my free ebook, 7 ways to become a ripped vegan. And I'm going to go ahead and post that right here. And if you're writing it into the chat, let me know if you're getting that ebook. Definitely let me know if you're getting it. I just want to make sure that's the right word and you're getting the actual ebook. So definitely let me know. I see some people typing it down in the chat, but definitely let me know if you're getting it. Yeah, it worked. All right, perfect. That's great. That's great. All right. So number one of the things you want to do to be able to lose the body fat fast is number one, be in a calorie deficit. Okay. Now, to be in a calorie deficit, you need to know how much calories you should be eating. Okay. So what I'm going to do is bring up like let me see if I have something that maybe something you can write on, or a calculator. Let me see if I have something. Um, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share that. So what you want to do is, to be in a deficit, always say take your weight and then times it by 10. Okay, times that by 10. So if you're 150 pounds, times that by 10, and then you're going to get your calories to lose weight. Okay, so this is a good very easy thing you can do to make sure that you're in an actual deficit and do that successfully. All right, so if we're looking at this calculator, let's say someone weighs about 150 pounds, you multiply it by 10. All right, that's going to give you about 1,500 calories. All right, that's the best way to learn. Now, one thing I want to say is that, let's say you're about like 300 pounds and you multiply that by 10, that's going to be 3,000 calories. All right, so if you're like really overweight, like I would say more than like, I would definitely say more than like 18%, I would definitely go ahead and take your lean body mass. Okay, so for your lean body mass, you can get this easily. So one thing you could do, because there's two ways you could do it, and let me stop sharing the screen because, oops, I don't want to do that. Let me stop sharing the screen. One way you could do this is by, number one, you can buy a scale, right? A scale that checks your weight and body fat. So the scale I'm going to show you, I have it on my website. It's on bodyhdfitness.com/shop. I'm going to go ahead and show you how that looks. Okay. So what you can do is go to the website. And what I do is I show you the scales that I recommend my students to get. Okay. Because these are the top scales. So the first scale is going to be this one right here, the InBody H2ON body fat scale. Now, the cool thing about this scale, it comes with an app, right? So it keeps track of everything that it keeps track of all your biometrics, but then also it checks your weight, body fat, your muscle mass, and your BMI. And what we want is the body fat percentage, okay? Because technically, if you have the scale, it's going, like, if you can even see this right here, if you already have the scale, it's going to already tell you how much muscle you have. So technically, all you have to do is subtract the muscle to your body weight, and then use that number and times it by 10. Okay. So that's one way you could do that. Another way that you can do it is opening up ChatGPT. Let's say you don't have the scale, right? So if you don't have the scale, what you can do is, in ChatGPT, you could ask it, what is my body fat percentage, right? And then what you do with a question mark, and what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and grab a photo of yourself. So what you're going to do is just go ahead, take a picture of yourself, right? Let me see if I can't have so many windows here. All right, here it is. So you're going to see, this is from today. So I took this picture from today. I'm going to go ahead, plug it right in. Okay. Once it loads, go ahead and press start. And then it's going to go ahead and tell you the breakdown. Okay. So it says right here, visible abs, clear separations like usual places, and body fat percentage, it ranges about 8 to 10%. Okay. And this is just a quick picture. I highly recommend taking a picture without the shirt. Okay. Okay. If you don't have a shirt on, like, it's going to give you better readings. So, but like, obviously I have my shirt on, it's only measuring this. So if I got a picture, let's do it again. And And the more, the more skin you actually show, the better, right? So I want to just ask this again because it's going off the same picture. And let's find a picture that has more skin. So I could use these with the shorts. If we go down some more, like this one right here, this would be perfect because this is like, if you see this picture, see it shows like my legs, my arms, it shows more, right? It shows more skin. So this would be a better picture. And you can even upload more pictures like your back and stuff like that. So I got a back and the front. The more information you have, the better. And obviously you want to give ChatGPT more recent photos. All right. Don't give it old photos. Okay. Don't do old photos, obviously. Do something that's more recent. So this was like last week. So it says like estimated about 6 to 8. Okay. So that's a good thing. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take that. Let's say I'm at 8% body fat, right? So if you're at 8% body fat, what you want to do is this. Let's go to let's find where's that calculator again? Here it is. All right. So if I'm about like 100, I'm just going to say I'm 180, right? And then I'm going to multiply it by 0.08. All right, because that's like 8%. And that's 14. So that's how much, that's going to tell me how much fat I have. So I want to go ahead and take that fat and subtract that. So I could take 180 minus 14. All right, so that's 166. And then I can go ahead and multiply that by 10. And that's 6. So for me to be in a good deficit, about 1,660 calories. Okay. So that's like a prime example. So if we did someone that was like 300 pounds, and let's say they're about 48% body fat, right? Times 0.48. That's 144. So you're going to take 300 minus 144, 156, then multiply it by 10, and that's 1,560. See what I'm saying? So that's one of the fastest and quickest ways to figure out how to be in a calorie deficit. Okay. One of the fastest and quickest way to do so. So that's number one. Then after that, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and figure out like the ratio so you can get your macronutrients, okay? Because the ratio is going to play the biggest part. Because if you're just counting macros, you could if you're just counting calories, you can eat pretty much whatever you want, but you probably won't be satiated trying to lose that body fat. It's going to be very hard for you to lose it because if you're just eating McDonald's, junk food, or just eating random foods to hit your calorie intake, it's going to be very hard. So what you want to do, number one, is download MyFitnessPal. Okay, download MyFitnessPal, and then that's going to be a way you're able to keep track of everything you're eating. Then what you want to do is find out your macronutrients. So a good ratio that I like to use for weight loss for a lot of my clients, a lot of my students, is going to be the 35, 25, 40 ratio. Okay. So 35, 25, 40 means that it's 35% protein, 25% of your calories is coming from carbohydrates, and then 40% is coming from fats. Now, if you're asking why, it's mostly because fats, the reason fats is at 40% is because when it comes down to fats, it's higher in calories. So 1 calorie of fat equals 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. Okay. So it's more slow burning, which is going to help you feel a little bit more satiated. And then the reason I put carbs at 25% is because what I like to do is have my students incorporate more fruits and vegetables into their diet, because the fruits and vegetables are higher in fiber. They're very nutrient dense. And again, it's going to help you stay more satiated, right? So with that said, what we're going to do, if we go back to sharing the screens. So we our let's say this 300-pound man who's eating about 1,560 calories. We want to remember that, right? So because to get the ratios, what we're going to do is 1,556 times 0.35, which is the protein. Okay, we're going to press equal, and that's 544.6. Okay, so this is how many calories from the total caloric intake. We want to get this many calories per day for protein. Now, how can we get that into grams? We're going to divide it by 4, because one gram of protein equals 4 calories. Okay, so when we do that, that's 136 grams of protein. See? So when people tell you have to eat X amount of protein and, all this stuff, like, this is why I don't really answer that question, because so many people are so obsessed about protein intake versus what are your goals first. Like, that's the first thing you have to ask yourself. What's your goals? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to lose body fat? Like, are you trying to become a runner? Are you like, you doing CrossFit? Like, what are your goals? Because the goals will determine the protein intake. Everybody don't need to be eating 1 gram of protein per body weight just for health. Okay, you don't need to do that. You need to figure out how to be in a calorie deficit and what are your goals. So if you're trying to be in the deficit, you need to be in a caloric deficit, and you want your meals to be more balanced. You might hear people online tell you, like, just eat a bunch of protein and then do veggies. No, it's not that simple. This is the best way of doing it. I'm showing you now. It's all math. Okay, it's all math. So you want to go ahead and take that, right? So 136 grams of protein, that's where you're going to get your protein. Then we're going to do the same thing for the carbs, right? So we go 1,556 times what, 0.25, because remember, it's 1,556 times 0.25, because remember, 25% of the carbs, 25% of the calories is going to go into carbs. That's going to equal up to 389. And then we're going to divide that by 4, because 1 gram of carb equals 4 calories. That's going to give us 97 grams of carbs. Okay. So I think what we said, 136 grams of protein, 97 grams of carbs. And then with the fats, 56 times 0.40 equals 622 calories. And then we're going to divide that by 9, right? And that's 69 grams of fat. So overall, from my memory, it's about 136 grams of protein. I think I said like 96 grams of carbs and 69 grams of fat. And now you have your macros. Okay. And then you're going to plug in those macros into MyFitnessPal. And once you plug into MyFitnessPal, now the next thing is to figure out the foods that you're going to eat to match up those macros. And that's it. All right. And then you want to do that on a consistent basis. And I highly recommend when you plug in your foods, try to find some good, high quality, lean protein sources, especially if you're trying to do this on a plant-based diet. So you have like tofu, tempeh, and seitan. So remember, tofu is going to be high in protein, low in carbs, high in fats. All right. Your tempeh is going to be high in protein, moderate carbs, low in fats. And then your seitan is going to be high protein, low carb, low fats. Okay. Some seitans barely have any fats, very, very low fat. Okay. And then With your carbs, because you don't have so much to use, you want to focus more on volume, right? You want to make sure you're getting a lot of volume from the foods you're eating from your carbs. So white rice wouldn't be the best mix, or any type of rice, not even white. Like rice in general wouldn't be the best mix if you're looking for volume, because even though it's healthy, it's calorically dense. So what type of foods can we get more volume? Your dark leafy greens like spinach, collards, kale. This is what mushrooms. These are foods that you can get a lot of volume from because they're very low in calories and very nutrient dense and high in fiber. When it comes down to fruits, like your berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, high in fiber, very nutrient dense, low in calories. So that means you can eat more of it, and it's going to help you feel more full and satiated long term, versus like eating like a candy bar. You know what I'm saying? That would be the extreme. Or eating a pizza that's high in carbs, high fat, but one or two slices, that's going to already destroy your calories, okay, and your macros. Probably even go over it. And then when it comes to fats, since it's like in the 60s, you want to look for foods that's like high in fats. So you don't really technically need to do oils, but I would do like more nuts, like almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts. So I will always incorporate like Brazil nuts so you can get the selenium. Then I would get some pumpkin seeds so you can get a little bit more iron. And then if you have more fats left over, maybe you get it from the tofu, or maybe from like some of your favorite nuts, paws, right? Like cashews and things like that. Okay. You can have a little mix and do that. Okay. So those are ways you can build your plan. And then as you lose the body fat, right, stick with the same macros. You can always redo it every month. I highly suggest redoing it every month. Don't do it every single week, every month. So when you see like there's 10 pounds drop, go ahead, do that calculation over. And then after that, go ahead and select new different types of foods. And then do that again for a month. Okay. But those are the best things to be able to help you lose body fat fast and successfully. Okay. So again, when it comes down to everything, if that makes sense, let me know. Also, someone asked if they can still get the cookbook. Yes, you can. The cookbook could definitely help you out. Thank you for mentioning that, because in the cookbook, it does teach you everything I just taught you right now. All right. So in the book is going to show you the ratios and the splits of the macros. Is going to show you everything that I literally talked about when it comes to creating the numbers. All right. So you can get your calories with the weight and doing the math. Okay. And then after that, once you finish doing that, you have your macro friendly meals. So if you want the cookbook, that's going to be you could use the book as reference. So when it comes to building your calories and your macros, but you can also use the cookbook as reference so you can get macro friendly meals that's actually going to be easy to plug into your meal plan when you create it. So go ahead and comment cookbook. I'm going to put this in the chat. All right. And this cookbook has over 70 plus recipes in there. Okay. So I highly recommend checking that out. And we'll go ahead and pin that in the chat. All right. And you'll be able to purchase my cookbook. That's going to help you out. The cookbook's only $14.97. It's really cheap. But again, it has a lot of valuable information in there to really help you be able to do the macros, the calories, and plug in some meals that's already macro friendly. And again, has 70 plus recipes going from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, also some snacks and smoothies. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. Let's see. We got some people saying some stuff. So let's see. All right, it says we have this one. So James said I'm at 12% body fat according to my scale, trying to stay under 95 kilos and 190 centimeters. You're an inspiration, by the way, my friend. Hey, dope, man. So if you're at 12% and 12% body fat and you're trying to stay underneath 85 kilos, there's a couple things that you want to do, like because here's the thing: when it comes to weight and body fat, these are two different things. So if you're just trying to maintain, then what you want to do is try to figure out your maintenance calories, right? If you're trying to maintain. So if you're trying to maintain, then you want to take your weight and times that by let me see. Let me before I want to give you a good number, but you want to times that about like 15, maybe as high as 20, but let's do something real quick for you. So if we share screens, all right, and let's say we're trying to do a maintenance, you say you're, what did you say? You're about 12%, 85 kilos. All right. So what we want to do is convert kilos into weight, right? So you want to times that by 2.2. All right. So you can get the weight. So you're about 187 pounds, right? So now you're trying to maintain. So like I said, first you can start off with 15. So we'll take 187 times 15. Let's see where that goes to. So that's about 2,805 calories. So this is a really good place to start for maintenance. Now, the only time I would say go higher, like going up to like 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20, is like if you're doing an extreme high endurance sport. Because if you have like an Apple Watch and you're burning like crazy amount of calories every single day because you're doing high endurance sports like cycling a lot, like you're doing tons of miles or you're running tons of miles and shit like that, that's the only time I would say go higher in those numbers. But if you're trying to look for maintenance, 15 is a good number to multiply it by. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out with that. And another thing, if you're trying to lean out and maintain 85 kilograms, then you want to just lower your body fat percentage and then build muscle. So that's another thing too, because like when someone says like I want to stay under 85, like are you still trying to get shredded or you're just trying to maintain your physique, right? So if you're trying to maintain your physique, then do that. If you're trying to get shredded and also continue to build muscle, like lose more body fat, build more muscle, so you still be underneath 85, that's completely different. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Drew said, like, yo, chill out. He's doing presentation. Yeah, tell me about it. He's just spamming, man. And I'm not even going to answer the dude because he has no respect. You know what I'm saying? Zero respect. Let's see. And this we're talking about the YouTube audience. Like some people in YouTube is just silly, but there's some respectful people here too. Let's see. I'm trying to get the weight off. I'm trying to get weight. Life is not fair. I don't understand that. What do you mean you're trying to get weight? I don't understand that. What about beans and lentils? Yeah, I mean, if you're doing it for weight loss, like beans and lentils are good because they're a protein source, but more of a carb source. But again, it really depends on your appetite. So you could try out beans. Lentils would be a better choice because you could get a lot more lentil. First, they're higher in protein. They're very high in iron, and you can get more volume from lentils versus beans. You know, so but it really depends on your appetite because, like, what I'm telling you is what I experience from people coming to me, and a lot of people like to eat a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's really rare we get someone who needs to be in a deficit and they have a very small appetite. You know, it's really rare. We do get some people. I actually have a client right now who has a very small appetite and we have to create very small meals, and we're doing more calorically dense foods because her appetite is just not there. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a big appetite, like I have a big appetite, so what I usually focus on is a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits for cutting. And then if I'm trying to bulk or whatever, then I eat more rice and beans if I'm trying to bulk, or my calories are a lot higher and I'm trying to maintain, then I incorporate rice and beans and stuff like that. But lentils would be the better choice out of the beans. Hopefully that makes sense. What scale is recommended for checking weight and body fat? It's going to be the in-body scale. And then that scale is about, it ranges from 250. Well, I've seen it as low as 200 all the way up to 300. The rates always goes up and down. Again, you can get it on my website at bodyhcfitness.com/shop, or just find it on Amazon. But if you're going through my shop, you get a discount because I'm part of the Amazon Associate Program. So you will get a small discount from that, get a little bit cheaper. But, you could get that. That's one of my favorite scales. Or you can get the Omron, right? The Omron scale, which is also on my website, ranges around $50 to $100. That's another good scale as well. And then again, like I said before, you can always use ChatGPT as a as an alternative option for now. But it's not going to be as accurate. But I mean, from me using it, it seemed pretty well. I mean, 6 to 8%. I mean, that's not pretty. I mean, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll take that estimate for sure. But I mean, you could use ChatGPT for now until you get a scale. But if you want something a little bit more accuracy, yeah, I recommend getting a scale. Where do you get your cookbook? Well, the cookbook is on my website at bodyhcfitness.com/shop. Let me see if I could post it here. Because for everyone that's on Instagram, they could just comment like keywords and they automatically get everything. So because I have a bot that does that stuff for me. So they could just say like a couple of buzzwords that I tell them to do, and then they get it. But let me see if I can send you the link here on YouTube. I'm just looking for it real quick. Here it is. And I'll send that. I'll put that in the chat for you guys, for everyone that's on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, but shoot, that's on YouTube. Hold on. Hopefully you see it. I'm trying to pin it, but I don't know how I can pin it. Or maybe I did. All right. So you get it there. Okay. Let's see if there's any other questions coming from the Instagram side. Yeah, if you want to get the cookbook, just type in cookbook, and you should get it. You should get it. Is everybody getting the cookbook? Typing in cookbook, because you should get it. And if you're not getting the cookbook, just DM me, and then I'll send you the link personally. For whatever reason you're not getting it, just DM me. All right. So I guess that's it. Okay. So with that said, hopefully this class was very helpful for you guys. I just want to come on real quick, give some game to you guys. But with that said, I'll be back on at 6 p.m. every day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.